What is going on, beautiful people? Coming back to you again live from the woods, the beautiful nature. And we're going to talk about some very important stuff, all right? How to get big in crypto, how to be well known, a figure in this space. And before I go into these tips, it's obvious that I'm not the biggest person in crypto, obviously, right? I have very little clout in crypto, but I have grown quite a bit, and I would say that my name does hold a little bit of weight, a little more than the average person at this point. And I want to share with you guys how I've gotten to the point that I've gotten to, and kind of what I've been doing to leverage my position in this space. Because the space is very small still, and there's definitely room for people to come up in prominence. There's room for your name to be known in these streets, the crypto streets, if you provide value. And today I want to show you, explain to you 3 different ways you could do that. So number 1, Twitter. Now Twitter is going to be the obvious one, right? We all, I mean, if you don't have Twitter by now and you're involved in crypto, then you're doing something wrong. You need to have a Twitter account, all right? And mind you, again, this goes if you want to have any type of influence or just want to be noticed in this space as something, right? And again, Twitter account could literally just be you starting off with just following your favorite people, tweeting about things that are on your mind relating to crypto, and just, being in the space and just pretty much thinking out loud, but on Twitter. And I know there's a lot of people out there that aren't a fan of Twitter because, they're not the kind of individual to do stuff like that, think out loud and whatnot, and, just type in stuff every couple minutes. You don't even got to do that. I barely post on Twitter, and I still have an account. I have over 700 followers now, which is nuts. Probably because some of you guys have followed me. Thank you. But, for example, I may post maybe once or twice a day. But what I do post, I feel like occasionally is of some value to certain people. And if it's not, then at the most I'll be retweeting stuff, kind of quote tweeting, stuff like that. It's just being involved in the conversation. That's what Twitter's about, because we all know Twitter's a hub for crypto. Again, if you don't have a Twitter account and you're involved in the crypto space, then are you really that relevant? Yeah, you know what I mean? And come on, even Vitalik's got a Twitter account. So Twitter is one of the first ways. And again, you don't have to be even anyone. You could literally just be anonymous on Twitter. It's actually been going up really. That's been one of the main things actually going on recently, that a lot of people are staying anonymous, and they still have a crazy amount of followers, maybe because of the value they provide or whatnot, or anything else. So Twitter is one of the ways. The second way is a form of, actually, I'll get to that later. The second one is going to be in-person events, in-person meetups. Now this is obviously a lot different than Twitter. It's kind of completely the opposite, right? You're kind of going there in person, wherever it is, showing your face, and you're interacting with people who probably know, most likely a little bit more than you do, which is the case for myself, right? But I think in-person events are so important, especially after I organized the last one in the city, and I've been to 1 or 2 since then. Have I? Well, I've been to 1 actually since then. I'm going to one tonight actually, and another one this week. But it's a lot different because, in a space where it's all digital, where, for example, you're watching this video, for me, either on YouTube or Odyssey, where most of the space is digital, it's nice to have the in-person feeling and connect with people in person. And that goes a long way when you're making connections, networking, and relationships with people just in general. Again, especially when, most of this stuff is online. Not to mention, it kind of gives you a chance to show off, what you know, really. There are a lot of people, I think, that kind of talk big, that don't know as much as you may think. Some people may, again, watch my videos and think, I'm an expert in everything, crypto. And I'll tell you firsthand, I'm definitely not. There's a lot, obviously, I could be schooled on for sure. But at the same time, I can hold a conversation about almost anything in the crypto space. And I would think that most of you probably can too. God, it's raining now. I'm like, come on, this is heavy rain. So in that regard, I think in-person events are so important. Because again, it gives you the ability to show your face and kind of introduce yourself to people especially prominent people in the space, because you're not going to see anonymous people at these events, obviously, right? You're going to see, depending on the event, if it's like a meet and greet, like for example, what I did, you're literally just conversing and having a conversation, which is dope, potentially making small connections here and there. But if it's at bigger events, then you're learning, you may be connecting with people in like, I guess you could say with a little more clout, but it's still helpful nonetheless to kind of get your name out there and just get people to know who you are. And that's something that I'm going to be employing soon as time goes on. Literally, I'm going to be going to like two more events this month at least. So that's something I have planned as well. And the last thing is going to be, it's going to come as a surprise to you guys. Content creation. Now, hold on. Before you quit out, let me explain. I don't just mean videos, okay? Obviously, that's the route I've chosen to make videos, creating content around my experiences in this space, what I'm thinking, and giving it to you guys in a video format. I've chosen to do it this way because I find that I'm able to stick out, because I learned how to use cameras, I learned how to Photoshop, I learned how to use DaVinci Resolve, I learned all this stuff because I found it interesting, and videos have kind of been my calling for a while, I feel like, honestly. So for me, it was like a match made in heaven for videos. But for most people, blogs, articles, could be posting quality ass memes on Twitter, or even just for a certain project. And that may sound like a joke to you, like when I say, like, for example, memes, right? We'll talk about the blogs later. Let's talk about memes right now. Like, legitimately, like, I don't know if you've noticed, again, if you're on crypto Twitter, memes are kind of what brings attention to some of these projects, for real. Like, because of this stuff is so complicated, because a lot of these things, like, for example, I made a video about an options trading protocol, you know what I mean? Like, an automated options trading protocol. That shit is complicated as fuck to most people, bro. People barely understand how options work, like me, right? So, being able to kind of not really make fun of, but like kind of like have a joking atmosphere in that same project or in that same community is really important. You know what I mean? To bring in like the regular folk, just the average crypto goer. So doing stuff like that will definitely get you attention, especially if it's going to be memes about specific accounts, specific projects, I mean. Blogs and articles are very important as well. Obviously, if you're familiar with SEO, Google search, all that stuff, you can actually make a good amount of money making articles on stuff if you're good at writing them, or tutorials even, honestly. So all that stuff counts in terms of content creation. With that being said, thank you guys for watching once again. If you watched all the way through, you're an OG, all right? Let me know down in the comments below. Are you guys involved in the crypto space other than just watching videos? Are you on Twitter? Are you working with a project? Are you attending events? Please let me know. I'd love to know kind of what you guys are employing. And if it's something different than I mentioned, then let me know down below as well, man. Shit, maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. See you guys in the next one, all right? Damn, my hand is shaking, man. All right. I'll see you on the next one, all right, yo? Peace.